Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's video we're going to talk about the GV60 for a little bit. Now, just the other day, I ended up getting an email from a Genesis dealer over in New Jersey. And they were notifying me that the Genesis Priority 1 reservation system was now open. Meaning for a $500 refundable deposit, I can get in line for the GV60. Now, before going any further, I love my Ioniq 5. I'm not planning to sell it. I'm not planning to trade it in. I'm just really interested in the GV60 to see what it has to offer. So for a $500 refundable deposit, that'll give me a chance to get some seat time, hopefully a test drive, and to just see what it has to offer. So on Sunday morning, I put my deposit down, and you'll see this is what the process looks like. You get to pick your motor spec, your trim, your colors. I went with the performance model because that's what I would be interested in, the extra horsepower. It looks like there's only one trim option. I guess it just comes loaded. And with the colors, I went with the uni white because I wanted to get the blue interior. And it seems like only the lime green or the white color exteriors can be matched with a blue interior currently. And I went with these. Realistically, these would be the color options and the actual options I would want if I were going to buy this car. Now, later in the afternoon that day, Genesis Priority 1 Concierge actually called me. They said they wanted to confirm the order options, which they went over with me. And then the lady stated that they have no pricing or availability information available at this time. Do you have any other questions? And I told her, well, you answered the two questions I would have had. How about, do you know if the dealers will be selling at MSRP? And she said, they do not have any control over pricing for the dealer. So that was the end of that. And honestly, if I were really serious about buying the GV60, I would be a little disappointed. That call would be a little disheartening because you basically won't have any information until the car is almost at the dealer. But anyways, I did a little more digging into the deposit and refund policy, and I saw this. They listed July 10th, 2022 as the cutoff date. Meaning if I haven't made a choice or a decision about the GV60, they will cancel my deposit and return it to me. So that actually makes it sound like I should be seeing the car that I ordered or I placed an order for sometime before July 10th. But we'll see. The website clearly says available spring 2022 with very limited availability. Plus, you'll notice it's only available for sale in these 4 states, and that makes me think it's going to be a pretty small production run, especially for this year, in comparison to what we saw with the Ioniq 5 and the EV6. So Monday morning, I decided to call up that specific dealership which had reached out to me. I asked them, do you know if the GV60 is going to be sold at MSRP? And they actually said, we sell all of our cars here at MSRP. So that was really good news for me to hear. Obviously, we'll have to see what actually happens when the car comes in, but hopefully they are selling at MSRP. So anyways, I went back to the website to look at some specs, and I realized, oh, the reservation system's actually already closed, meaning at some point, either Sunday evening or early Monday morning, they had already received enough deposits and had decided to close the reservation system for the GV60. Now, there is a flip side to all of this. There is an actual scenario where I would consider buying the GV60. Obviously, I have to enjoy the car. I have to find that I like it enough that I would want to own it. But the other play here is using the Turo platform as a host. Now, if you haven't heard about Turo, it's a platform where you rent out your own car to other people. It's been around for a while. I've been using it since 2015 or 2016 as a renter. Especially in the Los Angeles market, they have pretty much every car you can think of, including the Ioniq 5, the ID4, the Mach-E, and a lot of older cars that a lot of people would still be interested in. Now, many of these owners in LA, they're using these cars as supplemental income or even as a full-time business. Now, personally, I've just really loved using it as a renter. You'll see here a bunch of examples of cars that we rented in the past. There were some really nice canyon or mountain roads out in LA that we used to hit up when it was just my wife and I. Obviously now we have kids, so when we go out there I have to choose a car that's a little more family friendly, but Turo gives you that flexibility. You can choose the exact car that you want And the last time we were out there, we rented the Model 3, and I just had a blast daily driving it. So anyways, we've been considering joining the Turo platform as a host for quite a few years, but we just haven't pulled the trigger. My wife's been awesome through this whole car buying YouTube process. She knows I love cars and I love being able to try out different cars. So she's actually on board with us getting another car or an EV as long as it can be self-sustaining. Meaning if I were to buy it now then sell it in 2 or 3 years, that I will have made enough from renting it out on Turo to cover all the depreciation, the insurance, and the maintenance costs. From an enthusiast point of view, if I saw this car on Turo, I would be very interested in renting it so that I could try it out without the dealership experience tied to it. If it's anything like the EV6 and the Ioniq 5, most showrooms are not going to have a demo car, so a lot of people will be trying to buy these kind of sight unseen without really knowing what it's like except looking at online reviews. So clearly, I have some homework to do. Is the GV60 the right car to do this with? Is there going to be enough interest? Ideally, with the right car on Turo, it would give prospective buyers or even just car enthusiasts like us a chance to spend time with the car on our own terms for as long as we want, take it wherever we want, no dealership experience tied to it. But is the GV60 going to get enough interest from renters? Should I wait for something like the EV6 GT or the Ioniq 5N or even the electrified GV70? So that's where I'd really love to hear your guys' thoughts about what you think about the upcoming GV60. Now, personally, I'm still really excited to see this car in person and try it out. I think the interior looks really premium, definitely a step or two above the Ioniq 5 and EV6, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that blue interior in person. I've always kind of been into these crazy color interiors, stuff like the XC40 with the orange carpeting and panels, or the C40 with the blue carpeting and panels, or red leather seats. I used to have an old 350Z that came with the orange leather, and I just loved it. But again, that's all personal taste, not everyone's cup of tea. I'm definitely not 100% sold on the exterior looks, so I'm hoping it'll look better in person. But I'm really excited about that extra power and that boost function. 483 horsepower, man, that should be fun. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Looking forward to hearing all of your thoughts and comments. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to support the channel. Thanks for watching.